I'm the business bishop, on a mission so divine. Coaching up the kingdom, watch your glory start to shine. Step into your purpose, let ambition be your guide. Grow your greatness high with faith right by your side. In the marketplace, calling, hear the angels sing. You cannot lose when faith meets the grind. Stand up, take action, leave the fear behind. With a vision so strong, there's no way you'll fail. The kingdom is your canvas, let your spirit sail. Bishop Wayne's in your corner, together we'll break through. Victory's a choice and today you're gonna choose. Living out your dreams, ain't no time for second best. Fulfill your destiny, put your limits to the test. Break those chains, rise up, find your flow. You cannot lose when faith meets the grind. Stand up, take action, leave the fear behind. With a vision so strong, there's no way you'll fail. The kingdom is your canvas, let your spirit sail. When the marketplace call it, in the marketplace call it. In your corner, together we'll break through. Victory's a choice and today you're gonna choose. Living out your dreams, ain't no time for second best. Fulfill your destiny, put your limits to the test. Break those chains, rise up, find your flow. Find your flow. You cannot lose when faith meets the grind. Stand up, take action, leave the fear behind. With a vision so strong, there's no way you'll fail. The kingdom is your canvas, let your spirit sail. Rise up, business bishop, let your victory roar. Coaching for the kingdom, you're destined for more. Rise up, business bishop, let your victory roar. Coaching for the kingdom, you're destined for more.
Hi friends, and welcome to another Kingdom Conversation with Bishop Wayne Malcolm. This ministry is here to serve those believers who have been called to the marketplace as entrepreneurs, professionals, influencers, and creators alike. This month, we are digging deep into the archives of the Business Bishop to share some insights and ideas that are designed to locate and to activate the best part of you. At the end of this message, we have an exciting announcement for you. But now, let's go into the session where Bishop Wayne was teaching a transformational message.
So, we are going to start a series. It's a 4-part series. And in this series, we're going to devote a week to each of the following themes. Tonight, we're going to look at creating rapport, which is all about how to create trust, how to lower defenses, and how to engage in a verbal dance. And of course, we'll go into some detail about what it means to be dancing verbally and for communication to be easy and to be flowing and to understand and to be understood and to have great conversations with people. So we're going to look at creating rapport. Next week, we're going to look at charisma. We're going to look at the subject of charisma, very important subject. You know, we hear about charismatic people, or this person's really charismatic, or they have charisma. You can also perhaps see in the word charisma the word charm or charming. And we're going to talk about how to create an attractive and magnetic personality. Because, you know, no one will go along with you if they cannot get along with you. And what we want to do is create attractive and magnetic personalities to where people want to be around us, want to explore our world, want to listen to us, and perhaps want to follow us. And this is charisma. And of course, most people think that charisma is coincidental or beyond their control. You know, some people have it, some people don't have it. Well, what I'm going to say is that no one is born with charisma. Charisma is really a skill that we can learn and develop and become charismatic, attractive, and magnetic in our personality. And we're going to break that down next week. Then the third subject we're going to look at is communication. And this is the art of understanding and being understood. So, of course, most people want to be understood. But, of course, communication starts with understanding. And when you can first understand, you can then be understood. And we're going to look at the art of effective communication. And then finally, we're going to look at negotiation, how to get what you want without taking what they need. So we're going to be looking at the art of the win-win outcome. Negotiation is about everyone winning. It's not about winning and losing. It's about everyone winning. It's getting what you want without taking away what they need. And if to get what you want, you have to take away what someone else needs, then that's more aggression, that's oppression, that's not a particularly Christian virtue. So we're going to look at these 4 subjects over the next 4 weeks. And if you're excited about these subjects, I need you to shout amen with your caps on in the chat box. Yes, I'm excited about these 4 subjects. If you feel like you could benefit from a discussion on these 4 subjects, I want you to shout yes into your chat box so that I know that we are not wasting our time and we are actually going to be having fun in this month of May. And I think of May, as the month to make your move and to make some key decisions about your destiny, your life and legacy, because it will mark 8 months until the historic and prophetic year 2020. So I'm excited about this and excited for you. And we are going to go into our first subject, which is rapport, creating rapport. Rapport. So if you were to look in a dictionary, like an online dictionary, rapport, the definition for rapport would come up something like this: close and harmonious relationship in which the people or groups concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well. It's a close or harmonious relationship in which the people or groups concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and they communicate well. So I think of this fundamentally as connecting, gelling, bonding. Connecting, gelling, and bonding. And we sort of know what it feels like to meet someone and there's an automatic connection. You seem to gel, you seem to bond, you seem to click, you seem to be able to talk and have a conversation really easily, and it's just kind of flowing, and it's not difficult, it's not uncomfortable, and the two of you are just really kind of dancing together to the same tune verbally and psychologically and emotionally. And this is rapport. This is rapport. And when rapport is present, connecting with people is very easy. When rapport is absent, wow, it can be very difficult and almost embarrassing just simply conducting a conversation. It's full of awkward moments and doubt about whether the conversation should be happening at all. So I want to look at rapport in a bit more detail. And what I find helpful is looking at the difference between rapport being present and rapport being absent. And we're now talking about people that you meet. Okay, so we're not really dealing with people that you know and have known for many years, But as you move into new circles, as God elevates you, as He opens doors of opportunity for you and you get invitations into new arenas, then you're going to meet new people. And you can either meet new people kind of ready to meet new people, or you can meet new people not ready to meet new people. And you can find the whole idea of meeting and connecting with new people really challenging. And some people really do find it challenging. And this is called social anxiety or shyness, to where we are become quite anxious about simply meeting new people or going into new environments. And what I want you to do is to get excited about meeting new people and going into new environments, because I want you to go in ready. And we're going to go in ready. So how many of you believe that in this year you're going to enter new environments and meet new people? If you believe that it's part of God's prophetic master plan for your life to bring you into new circles of influence where you're going to meet new people and you're going to enter new arenas, then I want you to say something in the chat box and let me know that you know that being ready for new relationships, new circles of influence, new atmospheres, new environments is an important thing for you and for your destiny. So let's go. When rapport is present, defenses are low. Defenses are low. What do I mean by defenses are low? We mean that we all instinctively protect ourselves from strangers. This is an instinct. It's part of it. It's the way that we have learned over many years to survive. And it is now part of our biology and our innate psychology to protect ourselves from strangers, because we don't know, who they are, what their motive is, what they want, what their agenda is. So we automatically and subconsciously protect ourselves from strangers. When you meet a new person, your defenses are high, and you will naturally appear closed. You will appear almost cold. You will appear defensive. You will appear protective. When you meet a stranger, you are automatically protecting yourself against a potential threat. But when rapport comes into that conversation, your defenses begin to lower. And as your defenses begin to lower, more of your own character, your authentic character, your true self begins to express itself, your true colors. You start to laugh, you start to shine, you start to communicate without second guessing yourself. And this is a really important one that we're going to deal with, where people are second guessing themselves as they're speaking. They are auto-correcting themselves while they're speaking. Therefore, there is no flow. The reason why you're auto-correcting yourself is that there is a threat. You are afraid that you may be judged, you may be perceived a certain way, you may be categorized, you may be labeled, you may be rejected. So you're trying to be perfect in everything that you say, which means that you're auto-correcting as you go. And if you're auto-correcting as you go, it's because your defenses are high. You're still dealing with a stranger. There is no rapport. So what we've got to do now is realize that when rapport is present, defenses are low. Number two, over to the right, when rapport is present, trust is high. Trust is high when we do not sense or detect a threat physically, emotionally, or reputationally. So when I do not feel threatened by you, then my trust gets higher, and I am more likely to be myself, to flow in my communication, to allow my pure and true character to come through, because I don't feel as though this will be used against me. that I don't feel as though I will be judged. I don't feel as though this will cause me harm, either physically, emotionally, or reputationally. My trust is high. And when your defenses are low and your trust is high, then talking is easy. It's easy. Communication flows when trust is high because we stop second guessing ourselves and are not afraid to be authentic. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I have certainly met people, and for whatever reason, maybe their status, maybe um, their diction, their language, their eloquence, their whatever it is, has caused me to second guess myself as I speak. Because perhaps, let's say this is a politician, and I want to demonstrate some sort of understanding of political ideology, political processes, and therefore I'm auto editing while I'm speaking, therefore I'm not flowing. But actually, I could have the same conversation with a friend and flow just amazingly, and it just works, and I'm comfortable, and my thoughts are well coordinated. And the reason why it's difficult speaking to someone, um, where your trust is low and your defenses are high, is because you are auto correcting as you speak in order to either impress or to protect yourself from criticism, etc. When rapport is present, talking is easy, it's enjoyable, it's fun. You're having a great conversation, you're enjoying the conversation, it's enriching. And then finally, when rapport is present, understanding is deep. So we feel like we know where the other person is coming from, and we also feel like they can relate to us. We're feeling like actually we're not just talking here, we're actually understanding. And when that feeling is present, that is rapport. Rapport is present when understanding is deep. Now, why is it important for us to define and think of rapport in these terms? Because when rapport is not present, the opposite is true. When rapport is not present, the opposite is true. What that means is defenses are high, okay? I'm still talking to a stranger, so I'm still protecting myself. Trust is low. I don't trust the person I'm speaking to, so therefore I am still closed in conversation. There is a shield around me. It's not easy to talk because I'm second guessing everything. I'm second guessing what they might do with what I've said, how they may interpret what I've said, um, how they may view me as a result of what I'm saying. So therefore, I am second guessing, auto correcting everything I'm saying while I'm saying it, so I cannot flow. And also, understanding is shallow. I'm not really understanding the person. I don't feel like the person understands me. So we're going to conduct a quick poll here. How many of you would like to, as you move into new circles, new arenas, and as you connect with new people, would like rapport to be present, and certainly don't want it to be absent? You want to be able to move into a new circle and be able to establish rapport or create rapport very quickly with key people, so that their defenses are low, your defenses are low, trust is high, talking is easy, understanding is deep. If that's you, I need you to write something in the chat box before we continue. Yeah. Has anyone ever experienced meeting a new person and very quickly you seemed to gel, click, bond, flow? Defenses were low, trust was high, talking was easy, understanding was deep. You've had that experience and you can remember it. Put something in the chat box. Likewise, can any of you remember a time when you've met a new person and absolutely you don't trust them at all? Your defenses are very high. Talking is not very easy. You are auto-correcting everything that you say, and you know for a fact that they don't understand you. So this is our actual experience of meeting new people, and this is the reason why social anxiety is so high. Shyness is a word for social anxiety, where a person is anxious about meeting new people. Some people have opportunities to meet new people, won't take them up because I'm anxious. I'm concerned that I might be rejected, I may be misunderstood, I might not meet anyone I can connect with, I might be a sore thumb in the room, I might be, bored. Whatever the case, people get very anxious about moving into new circles and meeting new people. And that's why this lesson is good news for you. That's why you being part of this movement is a divine appointment, because we're going to address that tonight. So here's the statement that I'm going to make. And I'm making the statement big and bold, loud and clear. Rapport is not coincidental. It can be created with intention. Rapport is not coincidental. It can be created with intention. So the socially anxious person will go to a new environment, to a meeting, to a new job, to a new position, to a new team, to a new client, to a new customer, hoping for the best, hoping that rapport will be present, hoping that this is the kind of person I can connect with and gel with, hoping that we will get along with each other. That's what socially anxious people do. And because they're hoping for the best, they're uncertain, they're not confident, and they bring that non-confidence, that doubt, that uncertainty, that anxiety into the meeting, which does little to create rapport. And if they do find in the meeting that the people are pretty ordinary, pretty much like themselves, they're like, wow, thank God, because thank God you're just ordinary people, you're regular people, you're just like me. And this is often a shock, I suppose, for people meeting celebrities. Many people cannot enter a room with celebrity because, and when I say celebrity, I don't just mean Hollywood celebrity or acting or entertainment celebrity, but anyone that's famous. Could be a politician, could be a preaching personality, could be an athlete, and you're going to meet them. We get anxious, and we're often shocked to find out that they're actually ordinary people. And it's refreshing to know that these are just regular people. Socially anxious people are really frightened of that encounter, because they think that rapport is coincidental. Coincidental meaning we either click or we don't click. We either gel or we don't gel. We either bond or we don't bond. And I don't know if we're going to bond or gel or click, and I'm just hoping for the best. Well, what we're saying here is that rapport can be created with intention. And when you understand that you can intentionally go in and create rapport with virtually anyone, I say virtually anyone because there are some people who are determined not to connect with you for reasons that you will never know. And therefore, they'll never lower their defenses and you'll never have connection. However, in most cases, you can create rapport with most people quite quickly in some cases within minutes, you can create rapport. And once you understand that rapport can be created, then you stop hoping for it. You instead go in to create it. So, right now, I don't go to a meeting hoping that that rapport will be present. I go in intending to create rapport with the people that I want and need to connect with. So I'm going in with a set of tools, and these tools I'm going to share with you in the series, but I'm going in with a set of tools to create that rapport. I'm not expecting that we're going to gel or bond. I'm going to create the gel and the bond because I understand that rapport is not coincidental. It can be created with intention. And so in this sense, I'm taking us up higher in this class to say, okay, let's go out and create rapport. And furthermore, when you understand the principles I'm going to share with you, you will enjoy practicing this. Okay, because practice makes perfect. So I'm going to want you to not wait till you are in a new circle through divine promotion and favor, but I'm going to ask you to literally throughout your day-to-day life, literally create rapport. Do it in the supermarket, at the checkout counter, do it in a restaurant, do it while you're walking the pets, do it, just go out and meet new people and create rapport. And as you begin to practice the creation of rapport, it will actually become fun. It will almost be like a game, and it will eventually become easy, and you'll get better and better and better at it. And as you get better at it, you're then going to look forward to networking opportunities, new events, new places where you're going to meet new people, and you're going to go in with this sense of, I am intentionally going to create rapport. Okay, I'm going to win you over. Woo! I want you to write in the chat box, I'm going to win you over to me. I want you to write that. And the reason I say that is that I often go into situations saying that as an affirmation in my mind. I'm going to win you over to me. And if I were to begin to testify, it would consume the rest of the evening. If I were to begin to testify about the miracles, the favor that have come out of me meeting a stranger and saying, I'm going to win you over to me, and how I've enjoyed winning them over, and the miracles and the favor and the blessing and the opportunities that come out of that relationship, and how lasting those relationships have been and still are today. So I want you to become the person who says, look, I'm not hoping for the best in this meeting. I'm going to create the best in this meeting. Because guess what? You are the image and likeness of God. He is the creator, and you are blessed with creative capacity beyond your wildest imagination. Therefore, we must start creating circumstances. We must go into circumstances and say, I'm going to create rapport in this new department. I'm going to create it in this new role. I'm going to create it with this new customer, this new client. I'm going to create it with this new prospect. I'm going to create it with this new network. I'm going to create rapport. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to hope. I'm going to create a situation where your defenses are low, your trust is high, conversation is easy, and understanding is deep. I'm going to create that situation because it can be created intentionally. Woo! That's good preaching, Bishop. I agree. So, are you ready? If you're ready, you need to say yes. I need to see my lights going off if you're ready. If you're bored, we can always stop. Okay, good. I got 51 comments right now, and that's exciting me. So I told you we're going to go deep in this series, and we are going deep now. Okay? So, strategy number one, reflect for rapport. Reflect for rapport. I want you to type that in the chat box. Reflect for rapport. Okay? Because this is a major key. Reflect for rapport. Go ahead and write that in the chat box. Reflect for rapport. So in order to create rapport, you must become a mirror in which people can see themselves. Woo! In order to intentionally create rapport, you must become a mirror in which people can see themselves. You must reflect in order to create rapport. Reflect to create rapport. Become a mirror in which people can see themselves. And you need to become intentional about this. And if you need scripture, we are people of faith. This is a unashamedly faith-based, Christ-centered movement. Then just look at God, who literally became a man in order to connect with us. Sometimes, in order to connect with people, you have to become like them, or at least reflect them, so that they can relate and connect. We can relate to God through Christ. We can connect with God because He has reflected us in Christ. So reflect in order to create rapport. Now let's break this down. Number one, we only really trust ourselves. That's deep. That's deep, and that could be a whole session. When we think about who we trust when it comes to society, ultimately, we only really trust ourselves because we only really know ourselves. You can't trust someone you don't know. And therefore, we trust ourselves, which means that the more of ourselves that we see in others, the more we trust them. The more of themselves that they can see in you, the more they will trust you. So we trust people who most remind us of ourselves. We trust people with whom we can relate, and we have a sense of knowing them because they are reminding us of ourselves. That's deep. It requires a whole session, really. But just bear with me. Move across to the right. We automatically look for similarities. I mean, subconsciously, unconsciously, we automatically look for similarities in people. And this is why we make instant decisions about new relationships. Now, understand, when you meet someone for the first time, you are automatically and subconsciously scanning them and making decisions about whether you want to even have a conversation and about whether you want to take the conversation further. And what you're looking for is similarities. You're automatically looking for similarities. So we make instant decisions about a new relationship because we unconsciously are looking for similarities. Okay, number three, relationships start when we can relate. So in other words, if it's going to evolve from a handshake to hi, what's your name? My name is this, and good, what are you doing here? What do you do? If it's going to evolve beyond that, then we're going to have to find in that small talk things we can relate to in order to build a relationship. And the clue is in the word relationship. Relate. At the heart of any new relationship is the ability to relate. If we cannot relate, we cannot have a relationship. which means, over to the right, let others see themselves in you. It starts subtly and immediately with simple things, shallow things, seemingly unimportant things like body language, physiology, tone, pace. People begin to see themselves in you, striking similarities, and their defenses begin to come down, their trust begins to go up, their authentic self begins to come out, and they feel like you understand them and they understand you. Based on these, the small talk, the initial introduction, we are automatically looking for ourselves in another person. So let's go a little further here and say rapport can be created through a process called mirroring and matching. I want you all to write in the chat box, mirroring and matching. Mirroring and matching. This is a very, very important word, term, phrase that we will use several times. Mirroring and matching. You can create rapport, which means you can become the mirror in which a person can see more of themselves by a process called mirroring and matching. This is not the same as mimicking. Mimicking is a form of mockery. Mimicking will absolutely raise defenses and bring trust to an all-time low. So mirroring and matching is not the same as mimicking. It means subtly reflecting a person in very small and non-obvious ways. Very small and non-obvious ways. So we're going to go into the 6 things to mirror as follows. So one of the things we need to mirror is body language. Everyone write down body language. And basically, a person's body language will either be open or closed, okay? And closed body language is body language that's designed to protect and defend, okay? So if someone joins their hands together, they're creating a barrier to protect their vital organs. It's all quite subconscious. Some people play with their cufflinks. A very famous member of the royal family plays with his cufflinks. It means I am not feeling safe in this environment. I am protecting myself. Some people hold their hands, rub their hands. Some people sit in a certain way as to create a barrier. Other people, when they meet you, are quite open. They make themselves quite vulnerable, and their body language is open or it's closed. Now, you want to notice if someone is being closed or open, and in very subtly, takes practice, kind of mirror that. Okay, the next thing is physiology, which refers to your shape or posture. Okay, what do I mean by your shape or posture? So some people, when they're sitting down, slouch. Some people sit up and upright. Some people sit in a very relaxed way. Some people sit on the edge of their seat. And you want to notice the shape and posture of a person because, and we've done these experiments so many times in coaching classes, if you have the opposite physiology, it creates another barrier to connection. So if someone is sitting upright and attentive, edge of their seat, and you're just meeting them, best thing you could do is sit upright and on the edge of your seat, because in some strange way, they will automatically see a bit of themselves in you, okay? And this is not about you faking it to make it. This is about you building a bridge so that a person will feel safe to come into your world, to come into your ideas, to come into your space. It's you making the sacrifice to become more like them so they can become more like you. It's the God model. It's the incarnation. It's God himself becoming a man so that man himself could recover his divinity. And this is a very, very powerful thing that when you, and I'll give you an example of this, if you meet an elderly person, seriously elderly, and let's say they are bent in their posture, let's say the back is arched, and they're much shorter than you, and you're going to have a conversation with them. You don't stand tall and proud with your chest out and your gaze upwards and try to sort of speak with authority. What you do is you slightly crouch down, you kind of get down to where they are and say, "Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name?" "And my name is so and so." What are you doing? You are coming into their world. You're coming down to where they are, and you're doing it with your body and you're doing it with your gestures. Okay, your facial expression changes when you're connecting with an elderly person. You're not making a sales presentation. You're not testifying about some great triumphant victory you've just had. You're coming down, and your gesture, your physiology, your tone of speech, your pace, the speed at which you are speaking, it changes because you're trying to enter their world. The same happens when you meet a child. When you are speaking to a young child, you kind of crouch and get into their world, their psyche, and you start speaking in sort of child language a little bit more simplistically. You're going to take out some of your longer words from your vocabulary, and you're going to simplify things, and you're going to make gestures and facial expressions that is allowing them to connect with you. And you're doing this automatically with a child, you're doing it with an elderly person, but we're not realizing that actually this is the secret to rapport on any level. That actually, when you're meeting new people, if you can quite quickly figure out where they are, body language, physiology, gestures, tone, pace, you are now able to adjust and kind of get into their world through adapting your own body language, physiology, gestures, tones, pace. And I put on the end here clothes or dress sense. Now, obviously you can't suddenly get changed, but it's about understanding the environment in which you're going into. So if you're going into an environment that requires, traditional suit, tie, formal wear, if it requires, smart casual, if it requires just casual, if it requires fashion, whatever it is that it requires, then figure that out before you go to the event, before you go to the meeting, and make sure that you are dressed appropriately for the occasion. Because if you're not dressed appropriately, you're not going to feel that confidence. You're going to feel like, okay, I'm sticking out here. Everyone else is wearing a suit and tie. I've got on a tracksuit. Perhaps I should leave. Well, if everyone else is going to be suited and booted, then you be suited and booted, because what's happening is you're creating the mirror. You are now the mirror. When a person sees you, they see a little bit of themselves in you. Woo! I hope that was useful, because we're going to go deeper now. How much time have I got? Okay, I got 10 minutes. We're going to go deeper. Other thing to be aware of is that we each have dominant personality traits, okay? And these two can be reflected intentionally. We each have dominant personality traits. These two can be reflected intentionally. I'm going to say it again. We each have dominant personality traits. These two can be reflected intentionally. Now, there are basically 4 types of personality. Basically 4 types, and this kind of stretches back to the ancient Greeks. I think it's Hippocrates who first came up with this concept in the intertestamental period, but this has become a useful model for understanding basic personality types. So you have people who are sanguine, and this means that they're enthusiastic, active, and social. We have people who are choleric, who tend to be short-tempered, fast, and irritable. How many ever met someone who was short-tempered, fast, and irritable? Need to get things done now. What's happening? Let's get this show on the road. What are we doing sitting here? We've been here too long. Come on, let's move. Okay, these are choleric people. Okay, and then you've got the melancholic, who is more analytical, wise, and quiet, who's going to be like, they're just going to be a bit deep, kind of take things out a little bit deep, a little bit Bishop Malcolmish. Phlegmatic, more relaxed and peaceful. My gosh, when you get a phlegmatic with a choleric, what a civil war is taking place right there. The choleric is like, let's get this show on the road. I am frustrated right now. We need to be doing something, and I'm about action, and I just need to be moving. And if we're not moving, nothing's happening. We're wasting time here. And then we put them with a phlegmatic who's like, we just need to chill. We just need to just sit in this for a while and just rest and just absorb. We don't need to be so fast. What's happening is you get these conflicting personality types, okay? Let's break that down in a bit more detail. I got these right out of a dictionary, so let's read into it. Sanguine. So the sanguine personality type is described primarily as being highly talkative, enthusiastic, active, and social. Anyone know anyone like that, or is anyone like that? You talk, you're enthusiastic, you're active, you're social. Sanguines tend to be more extroverted and enjoy being part of a crowd. They find that being social, outgoing, and charismatic is easy to accomplish. Individuals with this personality have a hard time doing nothing and engage in more risk-seeking behavior. Okay, cholerics. Individuals tend to be more extroverted. They are described as independent, decisive, goal-oriented, ambitious. These combined with their dominant, result-oriented outlook make them natural leaders. In Greek, medieval, and Renaissance thought, they were also violent, vengeful, and short-tempered. All right, how many of you know a choleric? Oh, okay, so melancholics. Individuals tend to be analytical and detail-oriented. They are deep thinkers and feelers. They are introverted and try to avoid being singled out in the crowd. A melancholic personality leads to self-reliant individuals who are thoughtful, reserved, and often anxious. They often strive for perfection within themselves and their surroundings, which leads to tidy and detail-oriented behavior. Phlegmatic. Individuals tend to be relaxed, peaceful, quiet, easygoing. They are sympathetic, care about others, yet they try to hide their emotions. Phlegmatic individuals also are good at generalizing ideas or problems to the world and making compromises. Wow. So these are 4 personality types. How many of you think you know what your dominant? Now let's make this clear. We all have aspects of each of these in our personality. So it's not as if you're a sanguine or a choleric, you're a melancholic or a phlegmatic. No. We all have all of it in us, but we tend to have dominant personality traits, particularly in a working environment. We have dominant personality traits in a working environment. So, how many of you have already figured out what your dominant personality trait is? Go ahead and write it in the chat box. What's your dominant personality trait? The one you think in a working environment. Now, maybe at home you're different, okay? You might be choleric at work or sanguine at work, and you might be quite phlegmatic at home. But whatever the case is, in a working environment, what is your dominant personality? Just go ahead. If you think you know what it is, go ahead and write that down. And while you're writing that down, I want to talk about dominant interests, okay, and your sense of self. This is a really big one. It's a really good one. It's a really important one to think about. I could maybe do another chart to explain this, but I found out that there are kind of, when it comes to people's self-consciousness and their sense of worth and value, their sense of self, there tends to be three types. Okay. And what I've done is I've listed them here in the positive and the negative. Positive and the negative. So the first type is the achiever. That's positive, but on the negative, they're competitive. The achiever, who is also quite competitive. Their sense of self comes from their achievements. So, if you were to ask them, so tell me about yourself, the first thing they're going to do is start listing all the things they've done. Okay, well, I'm a coach, and I've coached this person, I've done this, I've done the other, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that, I've done. Well, what you're hearing is that this person's sense of self, who they are, is wrapped up in their achievements. And what you now know is that on the other side of this, they are quite competitive. People whose sense of self comes from their achievements tend to feel like they are losing if other people are winning. And so that becomes a negative side of that particular character trait. Then you got another type of person that's amiable. Okay, the amiable, or what I'm going to call the affiliate, can also, on the negative side, be a dependent. Okay, sorry for the misspellings here. We'll try and correct them. The amiable or the affiliate who is dependent, this means that their sense of self comes from their relationships. Their primary sense of self, their sense of worth, significance, value, comes from their relationships. So when you say to them, okay, so tell me about yourself, first thing they'll say is, well, I have a beautiful wife, I have 4 lovely children, I live in a great community. What's happening? They're straight away telling you, my sense of self comes from the relationships that I have. Now, the achiever, he may also have a beautiful family, but for some reason doesn't mention it. When you ask that person, tell me about yourself, they straight away come up with all these things that they've done and all the things they've achieved and all the things they've won and all their accomplishments, and because their sense of self is coming from that. Other people you meet, their sense of self is coming totally from their quality of their relationships. And then the final group is the influencer. The influencer, and on the negative side, they're controllers sometimes. Their sense of self comes from their leadership and their responsibilities. So when you meet them and say, well, tell me about yourself, they're going to say, well, I'm the head of, I'm the CEO of, I'm in charge of, I'm running this, I am the author of that, I created this, where is that coming from? Your sense of self is literally coming from your sense of significance, worth, value. It's coming primarily from the things that you control or the things that you influence. If these people would feel worthless if they were not leading something, what's the point? What's the point? If I can't control it, if I can't lead, then I don't want to be involved. The amiable or the affiliate person is saying, I just want to be involved. I want to be involved. And if I can be involved, I'm a great team player, and, I don't need to be in charge. I just want to be involved. The achiever, on the other hand, is saying, look, I need to win. I need to achieve. I don't need to be in control. I don't even need to be involved. I need to win. These are the kinds of people that you're going to meet. So let's just go back over this quickly. So you're going to meet people. Whoops, how do I do this? Right. So you're going to meet people, and when you meet them, you're going to quickly begin to, you're going to kind of look at stuff, and you're going to notice their body language, their physiology, their gestures, their tone, their pace, their dress sense, and all of that. And as much as you can mirror subtly, you will mirror. But then you're going to start a conversation. As you start a conversation, you're going to figure out, okay, I've got quite a sanguine personality here. I've got quite a choleric, quite a melancholic, quite a phlegmatic. And what you're going to do is you're going to start to to mirror or match that. It doesn't, not mimic. You're not going to go to the extreme. You're not going to, just because you've met a choleric, you're not going to start being fast and irritable. But you're going to appreciate the fact that this person is short-tempered, fast and irritable, and you're going to somehow allow them to connect with you by how decisive you can be and how how action-oriented you can be in a discussion. Likewise, if someone is quite phlegmatic, you know, and you figure that out, the last thing you want to do is being, fast and sharp and now, and you want to be, engage in a conversation a little bit more relaxed and peaceful, because you figured out, I'm dealing with a phlegmatic person here that is literally just kind of, just kind of riding the wave of life. And when you're dealing with melancholics, your conversation will be analytical, and you might want to just kind of feed into that somewhat, because nothing's worse than mismatching. Okay, mismatching. So I'm sure you've all had the experience of, you're in a hurry, you're in a rush, but you've taken a phone call. You got a deadline to meet, but you've taken a phone call. You take the phone call and say, "Hi, yep, what can I do for you? What can I do for you?" And the person starts phlegmatizing in this relaxed, "Well, it's just a few things that I really..." Now, what's happening is the mismatch is making you even more irritable, and that conversation is not going to bond, because you're not reading each other's pace. You're not reading where each other is. Likewise, when you are talking to someone, and remember that the most important subject in most people's mind is themselves. So you want to show interest in people. It's a big mistake going anywhere thinking that wanting people to show interest in you. That's a mistake. No, that's a massive mistake. Don't go into a new circle needing people to show interest in you. You go into a new circle showing interest in people. You are interested in people. You have to be the person that's interested in others, because people do want to talk about their favorite subject, which is themselves. So when I go into a new circle and I'm kind of looking and I'm assessing, and in the small talk, I'm figuring out, your personality type. I'm figuring out your dominant interests, where your sense of self is coming from. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, so tell me more about yourself. Tell me more about yourself. And the first things that they say will pretty much reveal where they are, as an achiever, an affiliate, or an influencer. You are going to, and of course, if they reveal to you quickly that they're an affiliate, then you want to start talking about family and friends and community and relationships and connections, and because that's what they're really predominantly interested in. That's where their sense of self comes from. If you figure out you're dealing with an achiever that's a competitive, then you can take the conversation in that direction. If you figure out you're dealing with an influencer and a controller, almost the best thing you could do to begin winning that person over is to respect and value their opinion and ask their advice. Because all of a sudden they are feeling more of themselves, because you are actually valuing them and their advice. So I close with this. Your strategy is, when you meet someone new, read them to determine what you can about their personality and dominant interests. Pay attention to their physiology, tone, pace, and gestures. Show interest in them by asking, so tell me about you. Wherever they start will often reveal their dominant interest. Find something you can relate to and continue the conversation in that direction. Subtly adjust yourself to reflect their physiology, personality, and style. This will open the door for a more meaningful relationship moving forward as rapport begins to appear. Obviously, you're not going to do this for the rest of the relationship, but to get a relationship started, sometimes you have to incarnate. What I mean by incarnate, I mean that God became man so that he could connect with us. Paul said, I've become all things to all men. Sometimes you have to become what people need in order so that they can actually discover what you really have. We do it when we talk to elderly people. We do it when we talk to children. We have to learn to do it when we move into new environments. Just adjust and adapt so that we are mirroring and matching. We become a mirror. People can see more of themselves in us. Their defenses will go down. Their trust will come up. Their authentic self, not second guessing, auto editing and deleting while they speak. They're going to begin to engage you in conversation more meaningfully, more deeply, and they're going to feel like you know where they're coming from, and you're going to feel like they understand you. That is rapport.
The next 4 years are going to be the most disruptive and dangerous for people who don't know this secret. Join Bishop Wayne Malcolm for his special webinar series entitled The 4-Year Challenge, in which the business bishop will explain how you can achieve the 4 freedoms, including financial freedom, time freedom, freedom of mobility, and freedom of expression, with a simple 4-year plan. He will expose the illusions of job security and the 40-year plan, promoted by the factory school system, while presenting a biblical blueprint for success through entrepreneurship. This webinar now airs at several times during the week, so there will be a time slot that works for you. A link to register is in the description below this video. Register now and embark on the road to freedom.
Hey there, entrepreneurs! If you enjoy the teachings of Bishop Wayne Malcolm, I've got something amazing for you. Introducing the New Breed Community, an exclusive online platform for kingdom-conscious entrepreneurs, professionals, investors, and creators. This isn't just a community, it's a movement where we discuss and explore kingdom concepts. Here, kingdom-minded people connect, share, learn, and grow together. Inside, you'll find exclusive content from Bishop Wayne Malcolm, including special sessions just for members. And the best part? It's free to join. The New Breed Community sits on the Heartbeat platform, where Bishop Wayne Malcolm is excited to meet you online. Join us for weekly Q&A sessions with Bishop Wayne and get exclusive insights that can transform your life. Love to read? Join our book club to feed your mind and spirit. Got a prayer request? Post it and let's lift each other up. Have a testimony? Share how God's goodness is shining in your life. We're more than just a community, we're a movement. Discover the powerful relationship between your profession and your purpose. Join us now on the Heartbeat platform. Connect with us and let's grow together. Bishop Wayne Malcolm and the New Breed Community are waiting for you. So what are you waiting for? Hit that join button and step into a world of connection and growth. A warm welcome awaits you. See you on the inside.
Yo, it's time to rise, wake up from your sleep. Bishop Wayne's got the guidance, the wisdom runs deep. Subscribe and like, let's spread this truth loud. Comment, share it wide, let's stand tall, be proud. Kingdom coaching, we got the plan. Success principles, grab a hold and take a stand. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bishop Wayne's teaching, we're climbing the stair. In the kingdom of hopes, together we'll thrive. With biblical truths, we'll keep dreams alive. Elevate your mind, shift out identity. In the marketplace of life, claim your clarity. Rule in the midst of out the trials and the gloom. With faith as your armor, watch blessings consume. Stand firm, be bold, let your light be known. With each step forward, you'll claim your throne. Subscribe, like, comment, and share Bishop Wayne's teaching. We're climbing the stair in the kingdom of hopes. Together we'll thrive. With biblical truths, we'll keep dreams alive.